Academy Award winner Gina Davis, Julie Brown, and Jeff Goldblum in the out-of-this-world romantic comedy, Earth Girls Are Easy. Now available on video cassette.
Welcome to Roll Credits, a podcast about connections, both in film and in life. I'm Aaron.
I'm Mandy.
Each episode, we aim to explore a cast member, actor, director, or even a concept that ties a set of movies together. We're going to talk about the history of the movie, the context of it, and have some fun while discussing our own personal opinions, breaking down the plot, and giving you a few fun facts along the way. Before we begin, of course, this is an Armbar Studios production. For more information on all of our projects, you can visit armbarstudios.com. So, we are somewhat in between arcs. It has been a while, but for those who, are regular listeners, last time we finished up our Stephen King arc, and we did announce, I believe, the arc following this.
Yes.
With Bruce Lee. However, we wanted a little stopgap episode with something that you've been very excited to talk about, and that is singer-songwriter Julie Brown.
Yeah, we haven't really touched on any musicians yet on this podcast. Julie really felt perfect for this, and really that she only had 2 albums and then this one musical movie. And you can't really talk about this movie without mentioning her. And
the movie in question, of course, is Earth Girls Are Easy from 1988. It is directed by Julian Temple, who had previously done the cult hit Sex Pistols movie. And the story of this film is that 3 aliens crash land in the swimming pool of a manicurist who's going through a bad breakup. And now she has to shelter them while they repair their ship. The manicurist in question, not played by Julie Brown, in fact, played by Gina Davis in a role that reunites her with Jeff Goldblum, one of our favorite pairings from one of your favorite movies, The Fly.
Yes. So obviously that is actually where I first heard of this one. I actually have a lot of interesting things about the production of this movie, since, to be honest, I knew about this one. I was less familiar with Julie and the rest of her career until pretty recently. But, I've kind of just known this as like a general sort of 80s movie. Just to introduce her a little, since I don't know how many people really know Julie Brown. She's an actress, comedian, and musician. I guess you would technically call her a novelty musician, sort of like what Weird Al is, although it's more really in her image and demeanor that she's kind of a parody. She's not like directly parodying any sort of songs like Weird Al does.
Okay, so she's more of a style parody.
Yes. Her whole act is directly meant to be a kind of a parody of who were the pop stars at the time. And the big one is Madonna, with just like the elements of Madonna specifically. I guess you'd call it the bimbo aspects of Madonna, just kind of turned up to 11 with it. Her songs are very pro-sex, pro-vanity, anti-intelligence. The best comparison I could really make to someone else, if they know who this is, would probably be Sylvia Knight.
Yeah, I was going to bring her up.
So she had actually represented Iceland at the 2006 Eurovision competition.
Got booed off the stage, if I remember correctly.
Oh, yeah. Like, so many people didn't realize she was this character, but it was this really glammed up, insanely arrogant Britney Spears type pop star.
Oh, she's hilarious, too. The actual song is so funny.
Look up the song Congratulations. It is, knowing in context what it is, I think you guys would probably love it if you're listening to this podcast.
Yeah, if you like Julie Brown or Sylvia Knight or vice versa, look up the other and you'll find a lot of shared DNA and a lot of fun music to enjoy.
Let's jump right into the history. This time, the sources include the Los Angeles Times, the Chicago Tribune, Improv.com, RadioHitList.com, the Demented Database, which is dedicated to Dr. Demento.
Oh, cool.
The AFI Catalog, and American Film Magazine.
Thank God for fan sites. I'm going to be honest. There are so many wonderful fan sites that collect some of this information. I could do a whole podcast on some of my favorite ones out there, but continue.
And I'm also saying this entire podcast, I don't think it would work at all if it wasn't for archive.org and the people who take care of that.
Absolutely.
So growing up in San Fernando Valley in California and joining Hollywood, it shouldn't surprise you to learn that Julie's family already had one foot in the entertainment industry already. So her grandparents actually worked for movie studios, and both of her parents worked for NBC when they had first met. Way before the character of Julie Brown was a thing, she was originally part of a pretty famous movie theater company in San Francisco. It is called ACT, or the American Conservatory Theater. And that taught her how to do stand-up comedy, which is when she was eventually discovered while performing in nightclubs. Starting in 1979 onwards, she started getting roles in television and movies. And here's actually a fun fact that ties her back to one of our earlier arcs. Can you guess what one of her first breakthrough roles was? It's a 1981 movie.
1981. Would that have been... Oh, goodness. I feel silly for this. Would that have been maybe something like Stand By Me or one of the Stephen King movies?
We haven't done we haven't done this movie specifically, but we've done this person. It's The Incredible Shrinking Woman.
Ah, Joel Schumacher.
Yes.
Okay.
She was also a prominent side character in the 1981 slasher movie Bloody Birthday. Besides that, she was mostly relegated to small parts in Hollywood. Her husband at the time, Terrence McNally, was also a bit player. But, they both managed to get pretty frequent small roles throughout Hollywood. And, whenever she wasn't doing acting jobs, Julie was mainly working stand-up, although Julia said that when she moved to Los Angeles, she found stand-up to be extremely frustrating. So, once she moved over there, she decided to still work clubs, but she changed up her act to take a different approach. In her own words, she came up with the idea of creating a new wave comedy routine, as she called it. I guess similar to, you could argue it's kind of similar to how Andy Kaufman would go to shows dressed and as like a lounge singer. These were like that was like comedy shows, and he would play this kind of like piggish and untalented guy just inexplicably singing.
I love Andy Kaufman. It's interesting looking at like, how many kind of comedians have followed along, the Kaufman and now Julie Brown route. When you look at, acts like Bo Burnham and even Adam Sandler, how they kind of introduce music into their acts.
And, I feel like the good part about it, music has had kind of this long-running sort of connection with Hollywood in general, and there's versatility to it. So, really good idea. Really good idea on Julie's part. So Julie Brown, the character, was a Valley girl like her who shared her name, but she was a vain airhead, essentially. Very similar to the pop stars at the time, as I mentioned. And not only was this an act that she enjoyed doing, it was also a very popular one for her. To promote this, she had actually independently produced her first single, I Like 'Em Big and Stupid, with one more song on the record's B-side, The Homecoming Queen's Got a Gun.
Ah, yes. Two great songs. And
funny story about that one, by the way. So it's a comedy song about a school shooting before those were common. But it wasn't really meant to be like this shock value song to capitalize on like horror or tragedy in real life. It's this ridiculous parody of this subgenre of songs that were about teen tragedy. You can kind of see this in, if you've ever seen Phantom of the Paradise, this is the first thing I think of, is the opening number is this song about this guy who kills himself so that his sister can get money.
Right.
Like that is kind of it was like kind of an easy target, I'd say. And there was apparently about 14 drafts of the Homecoming Queen's Got a Gun because Julie and her coworker for the song had just had so many funny ideas of how characters would get killed.
That's great. So it's yeah, no, I definitely have heard some of these things. I mean, obviously you'd get things like Janie's Got a Gun and all those, by Aerosmith, but like, yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense because there was a whole bunch of surf rock pictures of just the whole plot is kid gets into car crash, I mean, that's also the entire plot of, Bat Out of Hell by Meatloaf. It was specifically written to be, quote, the most epic car crash song of all time. So it's sort of like you have this scale of like these teen tragedy songs of like that are so serious, they're melodramatic. And then you have Meatloaf with like the one that knows what it is and wants to be the greatest of all time. And then one step past that, you have the Homecoming Queen's Got a Gun.
And the final version of the song, after they'd already pared it down, is still about 4.5 minutes.
Oh, yes. That's good for them.
Anyways, so the first performance of the song was apparently at a bar mitzvah. They had booked Julie for a bar mitzvah, just like right as she was debuting this stuff. So she said it didn't go over very well.
Yeah. Tough crowd.
Anyways, her and her husband sent out the single to several radio stations, most notably Dr. Demento. Same radio host who helped Weird Al make his break. Later on, the character got portrayed in Weird, the Al Yankovic Story.
Very, very funny performance.
And it was extremely popular. It even made it to the top 40 in 1984.
And you're talking about the B-side here.
Yes.
Wow.
Capitalizing on it, they actually re-released this on EP. This time they took the 2 existing tracks and stuck them on the first side, and then on side 2 they had 3 other songs. Will I Make It in the 80s? 'Cause I'm a Blonde. And finally, Earth Girls Are Easy, which is the song that this movie is actually named after.
Right.
Plot of the song, by the way, little different than the movie, but I'm sure we'll get into that. This was the EP that got Warner Bros. To reach out and ask Julie as well as her husband, Terrence, who helped co-produce it, and their co-writer, Charlie Coffey, to write a screenplay for a new movie for them. And initially the plan was to make it a star vehicle for Julie and her music. But the studio later changed their minds, which is why Gina Davis had gotten involved. Before they got Davis in the main role, they initially talked about Molly Ringwald, even Madonna in the main role.
That would have been very ironic.
Yes. Neither accepted the project, though. So, even though everything but the lead star was ready by 1986, because of the fact they couldn't get the stars that they wanted for it, Warner Bros. Actually just straight up dropped the movie at that point. Yeah. So, another big reason for it, the film's producer, Tony Garnett, was very insistent on this choice of a director, a man by the name of Julian Temple, which WB wasn't very fond of. He was actually best known, the reason that they wanted him, he was best known for directing music videos and mockumentaries for the Sex Pistols,
yes,
as you mentioned. But Warner Brothers dropped the project because Temple's musical movie Absolute Beginners came out, and it was just this massive bomb. Warner Bros. Kind of saw the writing on the wall. The project itself was in flux. But Julie worked on her first proper album while this was all going on, managing to record it and release it by 1987. It was called Trapped in the Body of a White Girl. Incredible title.
Yes.
Ultimately, the film was financed as a negative pickup deal by a French banking company. So do you know what that means?
No, explain that for me.
So the idea with a negative pickup deal, it means that this company would not finance this movie, but once the film was finished and released, then the bank itself would pay it back for the money that was owed. So, like, they had to have a finished project. They had to have a finished product before any money would go back to them. So yeah, this was made. This was a very kind of risky move on a lot of fronts. I wish I could say it went well, but this movie has a cult charm to it. They did manage to figure out distributors. It was handled by De Laurentiis Entertainment Group.
Good old Dino.
Yes. So funny enough, filming itself properly started in late 1987, like about 3 years after they'd already made up the plans for this. And unfortunately, Temple was said to be very meticulous as a director. He had some very positive original contributions that he made to the film. He was the one who connected this film to The Nutty Professor, if you remember that scene later on. Mm-hmm. And then, but the film was unfortunately off schedule because reportedly they said he had too much of an eye for detail.
It's funny, as we'll go into. It's funny that his eye for detail is one of the things that really helps this film stand out. But that's
so post-production lasted about 5 months with various reshoots. I'll bring up later in the review
what
the
they
exact
had to reshoot.
Yes, the exact details of it.
Sounds good.
But I mean, I mentioned this was a bomb. Previews itself were positive. Even reviews skewed positive. But they just couldn't bring people over to the actual theaters. And I'm sure you're going to bring up the actual reviews themselves. I'm curious to see what you all found. Mm-hmm. But yeah, that's about where Julie was. She did have her career started to lean a little more towards the acting side of things after this. She had a few cameos with movies like Clueless and a Goofy Movie. But, her next real project, she had this mockumentary that was a parody of Madonna. Then later on, she ended up releasing another album, but not until after the 21st century. So, and that's basically where she's at right now.
Okay. So, a nice little cult actress, novelty hit singer, fondly remembered by us. Hosted MTV a few times. She even had her own, I think it was technically a skit show. Unfortunately, not a lot of it survives. I tried finding some of it to kind of prepare for this, but a few of the skits survive, but no real full episodes, unfortunately. I believe it was something similar to how they would have like various artists host, like, as VJs back in the day.
Oh yeah, like an MTV kind of host show.
Yeah.
They did there's like another famous Julie Brown, and MTV had them like meet. But she was, I don't want to call her like flash in the pan. I don't think that's really fair to her, but it's obvious that she had like a boom period, and then like as soon as we were out of the 80s, she kind of plateaued just a little.
Yeah, makes sense. All right, so yeah, we're gonna go ahead and let's get physical. So this is actually really interesting. It's funny because you mentioned this is a cult film, I would say, and I do think that over the years it's really gathered its own cult following, which is why I was both surprised and not so much to realize that this actually got a pretty great Blu-ray release from Vestron Video. So I want to tell a little bit about Vestron Video. They are currently an arm of Lionsgate that basically releases certain cult films on Blu-ray. You know, Chopping Mall, this movie. May is one of their most recent releases, which was awesome. It was great to see that on Blu-ray. They originally were from kind of back in the day, and then company died, and then Lionsgate, I guess, took the company name to make these use it as a distribution arm. And according to Jeffrey Kaufman of Blu-ray.com, he does give it a favorable review, when it comes to the technical side of things. He does say the audio is better than the video, gives it like 4 out of 5 little Blu-ray.com icons, because that's what they use to rate these things. Which, I mean, when you have a musical movie, you want it to sound good.
Exactly.
And I'm pretty sure that the version that we watched is the same transfer.
Looked good to me.
Yeah, it looked great. So, if you want something that kind of really helps the production design pop and sounds good, you got this. And it does have excellent supplements. Like, listen to this. It has audio commentary with Julie Brown. It has an interview with Julian Temple about this movie and about Absolute Beginners. It has an interview with Julie. It has the directors of photography. They do an interview. You have the makeup supervisor doing an interview. You have deleted scenes. You have a karaoke version of the movie, like musical segments of the film with karaoke subtitles, some behind the scenes footage. And Charles Rocket is interviewed. Some classic promos, trailers, theatrical trailers, TV spots, radio spots, and even a storyboard gallery for 2 of the musical sequences. So, right now, at least of this recording, it's 49% off. So you want to buy a $10 Blu-ray that absolutely does this movie justice. There you go.
I know we say this all the time, but man, like when you get an actual Blu-ray with a lot of love to it, like you can absolutely feel it. It is fantastic. If you give me like a DVD or like a Blu-ray, even if it's a movie that I'm not particularly thrilled about, if the special features itself is interesting enough, sometimes I'll just want that. But, this sounds great to me. I was also checking, looks like right now, who knows if it will stay this way, but it looks like it's less than $10 at the moment if you buy it off of Amazon.
So there you go. Go for it. And so, it is nice that over the years, its cult status has kind of propelled. We've talked a little bit about how strange it is when cult films get these beautiful releases and mainstream films are stuck in, the vault sometimes. But at the same time, I do think when a movie is something of a flop that nevertheless has a dedicated team behind it, and you can tell people love it, both as audiences and even sometimes the studios themselves, and they want to give it that treatment. Like, it's nice that, these things exist. And this is why I'm always focused on physical media, because it's like, it's really the last place where not only can you own your movies, you can also kind of just get a full package. It becomes not just the movie, but a whole experience. And this seems like a great one. So now we're going to move on. I'm going to talk a little bit about the reviews. Before we begin, I do want to say something that really breaks my heart. We talked a little bit about the importance of archival work and fan sites. One of the biggest Siskel and Ebert fan site blogs, unfortunately, was sent a cease and desist by, I guess, the Ebert estate at some point. And unfortunately, SiskelEbert.org no longer online. It was the easiest way to find out exactly what they would review on each individual episode. It had so many video clips archived that no one seems interested in archiving. Like, you can't watch this shit on Disney Plus. You know what I mean? So that is just something that really broke my heart. I mean, on YouTube, there are still plenty of episodes up there, but, I just want to say that sucks. And, SiskelEbert.org curator, whoever you are, wherever you are, I hope you're doing okay. You did great work, and thank you so much for helping with the podcast as much as you have over the years. Whether you knew you were doing it or not.
So obviously no matter what, this cease and desist, I don't agree with it.
Yeah.
Usually, it feels like these things are only understandable when they're ready to like re-release this kind of stuff. But it's hard because I don't know if I really trust Disney to even touch this, and especially now that they're like moving, they're going to kill off Hulu in exchange for Disney Plus. Like, but plus you said this is done by like the Ebert estate, not by like Disney themselves.
That's what I've heard. I don't have the full information on what caused this, but it is. That's what it seems to be. I don't want to like, nail down like, oh, this is absolutely what happened, because basically one day the website was there, the next day it was completely taken down, and that is what the rumbling is. So
shame.
Yeah, and that's the frustrating thing, because if this does go up, on, let's say it goes up on Disney Plus next week, every single episode, I doubt that they'll have the movie clips included. And look at Saturday Night Live on Peacock. Entire skits and sequences are cut from those episodes, So who knows if it goes up, if it'll be complete. And, that I just want to say, keep archiving, guys. Don't let this scare you. Just archive, take down notes, take, all the people with weird little obsessions, update your personal websites, go to NeoCities or whatever, and, because this stuff is invaluable. You are doing a service that no one else, cares to do. So keep it up. Don't let them scare you.
They can't stop you from saving it on flash drive.
Yeah, exactly. So, with that said, I will talk a little bit about the reviews. Thankfully, the episode in question was archived on YouTube. Thank goodness. And it is an episode, of course, from 1989. And the movies on this episode also included How to Get Ahead in Advertising, See No Evil, Hear No Evil, For Queen and Country, and The Rainbow. And so this movie got a split decision from Siskel and Ebert. Ebert gave it a thumbs up, and Siskel gave it a thumbs down, which isn't unusual because Siskel hated every movie on this episode. Every single one. But, Ebert would describe it as a day-glow comedy with a nice, off-balance, easy humor to it. The best things about this movie are the performances from Jeff Goldblum and Gina Davis. They are so obviously having fun. He compared it to Little Shop of Horrors because it has like the bright production design and the satire on American culture that he appreciated.
Honestly, fair.
Yeah. Siskel said, I think there was too much of an emphasis on the rock music, as if they didn't want to tell the story.
It's a musical.
To which Ebert says, I didn't think there was a story to tell. The music is what the story's about. What about, what did you think of the art direction? And Siskel says, I think there's better art direction on Pee-wee's Playhouse. And in fact, I thought it was rather derivative. And at the end of the episode, Ebert even said he liked Earth Girls Are Easy and he thought that Siskel should have been more open to it. Just being like, hey man, stop being a stick in the mud. This movie's fun. And he would kind of go ahead and, say that more in his written review, which he says the movie's sense of fun is infectious and it saves the material when it starts to sag. Davis is, at this point in her career, manifestly a happy young woman, and the joy of performance spills into her character, and it inspires the actors around her so much that although the movie sometimes gets giggly, it never gets distracted or loses its energy level. Earth Girls Are Easy is silly and predictable and as permanent as a feather in the wind, but I had fun watching it. Isn't that what matters? You have fun, and I totally get where he's coming from here, because I had fun watching it. It's just such an offbeat, colorful little movie with great music. Like, what a fun film.
It's probably... I love Siskel and Ebert, but, there's one thing that you'll learn the more you watch it is these guys are never going to be... like the definitive sort of guy. I think it's always worth watching these movies and forming your own opinions on it. The most they can do is guide you on what things to rent if you were there at the time.
Mm-hmm. And that's why we kind of dive into these, because I think it's very interesting to look at these movies and these kind of reactions. Again, I've said it many times before, looking at the reactions to these movies contemporarily versus how they're viewed now is fascinating. You know, would Ebert have been happy to see, you know, the Vestron video release of Earth Girls Are Easy in 2022? I mean, maybe. He'd have been like, yeah, that movie was fun. You know?
I mean, for what it's worth, there is a actual Britney Spears and Iggy Azalea music video that are themed after this. Those are two of the biggest pop stars in the entire world. Mm-hmm. And they were making, like, they made a whole musical based on this one as well. So this movie is well loved. Yeah,
it really stuck around in the pop culture, you know, in the minds of people in sort of a really offbeat, on the fringe kind of way.
Even in Cowboy Bebop, the movie, which I'd say was probably one of the top rentals for any anime fan in the early 2000s, there's a opening song in that by the Seatbelts, who did the main theme in the show. It actually has the line, "Earth Girls Are Easy" in it.
Yeah. I mean, as soon as you hear the song, you're like, oh yeah, Earth Girls Are Easy. You know, it's like right there in your face. So, you know, it stuck around, and I think that's cool. All right, do you want to talk about the movie itself?
I sure do.
All right.
So I sort of watched this on a whim a few years ago, and it's one of those things that has never really escaped my memory to it. I guess the big thing that got me was Jeff Goldblum and Gina Davis, as Roger Ebert mentioned. Literally the exact same duo for The Fly, which I didn't realize at the time they were dating. I just thought it was just extremely funny that they had like two different versions of a Gina Davis and Jeff Goldblum romance movie.
Yeah, you get the happy ending in this one.
The happy, the cozy version.
Yeah, the cozy version.
I guess they were also in Transylvania 6 5000. Gina's role in that was a little more minor. I can't imagine forgetting this movie, to be honest. The as you mentioned, like the production design, the set design, the costumes, it's all just so fun and cartoony.
Yes, it was very favorably compared to John Waters at the time, which, you know, we're big John Waters fans. That makes sense. It is really funny when people unfavorably compare things to John Waters, because that means they're usually worth ignoring.
And I have to say, I love how versatile aliens are as a concept. It's hard to really think of a monster that can both be kid-friendly, it can be horrifying, we can be down bad for them. We're also not really sure if they're real or if they're not real. So the aliens really check every single box that you can have, like the most realistic story, and then shit like this.
Yeah. And that's the fun part of this movie, is that it just instantly opens with these 3 colored aliens in a weird little spaceship. And it's like, yeah, you know, this is that kind of movie.
You know how War Games was cool at the time just because it involved like computers and video games? That's kind of like how you're feeling as you're watching these 3D ship graphics.
Yes.
Meanwhile, the aliens in this, they kind of look like furry-ass My Pet Monster type guys.
Little weird creatures. Just
They have their own like Jedi training game going on at the start of this. And they managed to figure out this whole language. I wish I could know exactly what they came up with for it. But part of me I don't think they went into as much detail as maybe like the Klingons, but it's probably something either extremely specific or it's completely just made up on the spot.
Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't feel quite so unstructured that they went to Jim Carrey, which, by the way, Jim Carrey's in this movie.
Oh, Jim Carrey and Damon Wayans.
Yeah,
which,
incredible.
I mean, In Living Color was huge at the time.
Right. But, great. And then, Jeff Goldblum is the third. Like, it feels like, they did more than just, hey, make bleep blorp Google borp noises. It feels a little more structured than all that. So if, maybe there's like a set Bible somewhere, or like a little English to alien dictionary.
So what do you think about the guys being dudes aliens?
Oh man, that is really funny that like, these aren't like, perfect, logical, higher beings. They're just really stupid.
They're stupid and horny.
Yeah, they're stupid,
They crash the ship because they see, because they look at, women, wearing bikinis.
Yeah, like they tune into, isn't it that they tune into, the Earth's television signal and see an ad for a woman in a bikini?
That's a little earlier. That's actually at the start here. There's kind of this intergalactic holographic porn thing going on, which also happens in the Star Wars holiday special, fun fact.
It's better here.
Yes. It's a little funnier here, less egregious. I don't really know why they put it in the holiday special, because it's not a funny scene. It just happens.
Yeah. Get it, Grandpa.
Would you say this is maybe the best looking movie on the podcast? Because I think there's a lot of contenders. I think Carrie is probably better shot in general. And Schumacher also has very much like an eye for detail and all that.
Yeah, I'll always love how something like The Lost Boys looks. I think that it's one of the more visually distinct choices on the podcast. But I mean, we've seen a lot of visually stunning films. But I do think that this is a movie that when you watch this movie, you're not going to confuse it for any other movie. Like you see a frame from this movie and you're like, oh, this must be from Earth Girls Are Easy, with some of the weird props, bright colors, stylish title sequences, all that. So.
And the worst movie we've ever watched on the podcast visually is still See No Evil.
Hey, even that had a style. It's just the style sucked.
It's listen, one day we're going to watch 13 Ghosts and it's going to be the new king. Until then, congratulations, See No Evil 1. So after an opening scene that introduces the aliens, we do get to meet our main character, Gina Davis, extremely sexually frustrated from her doctor fiance. She tries to get her doctor boyfriend to have sex with her. She decides that she's going to get a makeover at a salon, which is how we're introduced to
everyone's favorite Julie Brown.
Julie Brown.
Now, before we get there, I do want to say it is really funny because, yes, Gina Davis starts this movie trying to get her hunky doctor fiance to have sex with her, but he comes home and he says that it's blood and guts night at the hospital, and I was popping off because so when we watched this movie, it was the day after Jamie Hayter on All Elite Wrestling had announced that she wanted to be in a blood and guts match. The Blood and Guts All Elite Wrestling event has since passed, and it was very good. So it's, we're all about blood and guts here on this podcast. But I also want to say, one really funny thing is, she just wants to have sex. And I believe before they go to work the day after, they're specifically, drinking Sanka, which I think is actually decaffeinated coffee.
Yes.
And you know how I know that? Homestar Runner. In the Homestar Runner Strong Bad email caffeine, Strong Bad gives Strong Sad a little Sanka to see what Strong Sad would be like when caffeinated. And I remember that being kind of the joke that it's not even caffeinated coffee.
It's also a punchline in Fast Times at Ridgemont High, if I remember correctly.
Yeah,
It was,
I believe so, yeah.
the coffee drinking teacher.
Yeah.
Who I think appears in maybe 1-2 scenes and then also gets the little, like, where are they now thing at the end.
Yeah, so it's like, what the hell was up with Sanka? Yeah, it's decaffeinated instant coffee. I mean, one of the earliest decaffeinated varieties. Like, was it just working on the placebo effect or something? Like,
I think that there is this reputation of Sanka as just kind of tasting cheap, which, to be fair, it is.
Yeah.
I mean, it works in a pinch if you don't have, like, a coffee machine available to you, which I get it.
Mm-hmm. I'm more of a Nescafe person.
Yes. And I love that Julie Brown's character's name is just Candy Pink.
Oh, it's really good. On the subject of John Waters, very much a John Waters kind of name. I love that.
But also, literally, it's like it's an inversion of her name.
Yeah, that's really good.
And over at this scene, we actually get the first song, "Summer of Love." This also gives us some of the best lines, I'd say, like, immediately. Just Julie or Candy being just flabbergasted, saying, 2 weeks without sex?
Listen, this whole movie has this fun sort of paperback novel vibe. You know what I mean? I don't know if you've ever read anything by Janet Ivanovich, but it's that sort of, like, really pulpy, sort of goopy pink romance. There's gonna be sex scenes, and there's gonna be ridiculous moments, and there's gonna be colorful characters, and I think that's what makes it so much fun, is that it has that mentality.
You can kind of just, hand wave every single thing that goes on. Like, it's meant to be. It's not something that you take seriously here. There's one part very early on here where Julie kind of has her head examined by, like, a scanner, and then they use what is basically AI-generated technology before AI-generated technology exists to determine a new haircut for her.
Yeah, they do that. They do that for Valerie, Gina Davis's character, and it's funny. It's like they're photoshopping all these things onto her. And this is very funny that you mentioned Joel Schumacher earlier, because this is just the scene in Batman Forever with the Riddler's computer when he's making his super suit. It's the same thing. They're just doing that, but making over Valerie.
I'm actually wondering now.
Did Joel do this on purpose?
Is there enough evidence to say that Batman Forever takes place in the Earth Girls Are Easy universe?
Honestly, they're both very heavily stylized, extremely colorful, over-the-top movies. It's just that one takes place in the Valley, one takes place in Gotham. So
the number in question in which all this is happening is called Brand New Girl. And I have to say, the one disappointment I had during the scene, there's a brief part in which Valerie goes for this buff butch look, and they do not stick with it.
Very sad. However, I do want to say, jumping to the end, there is in the end credits a credit for a cast member named, quote, Butch Girl, or at least a character named Butch Girl. So, at least this movie has that.
Yes. All that to say, this opening part is very fun. We really just need more musical movies with this energy where things are very loud, very colorful, but there's also like this like 10-15% chance that things are going to be extremely unhinged at any second.
It's great watching something that actually cares about staging and lighting in a musical. I wrote that comment down in my notes before we saw Wicked, which thankfully has the staging.
Yes.
But there's just
it's not the same.
There's something we bemoan constantly, that there's just not this much bombast in Hollywood musicals anymore. And it's like, this was a middle of the road cult film. This wasn't a Bubsy Berkeley number. Like, this was, and they're doing all this like absolutely wild stuff, with the transforming beauty parlor and all the different looks. Like, come on.
There's too much Greatest Showmans and not enough hairsprays these days.
Absolutely.
So as she goes home with her brand new look, she goes to prepare dinner and everything for her husband. Just want to say we actually get like a lot more of the house, which becomes kind of sort of the main setting for this movie. And holy shit, if you've ever loved like the most tacky, like 50s to 70s ass stuff, like this is like the perfect home.
They got novelty telephones. They got pool tables.
They have lava lamps.
Yeah, it is.
The pink flamingos,
Yes.
All of a sudden, her fiance, just thinking that Valerie isn't home, brings a new woman home to their house.
Yeah, I was so mad at Teddy at this point. Like, this movie succeeded in making him the heel for me. What a jerk.
This also has one of the best parts in the movie. Mm. The person that Teddy is cheating on. So she's told that Teddy lives alone. Mm. So when she heads over to the table while waiting for him to get ready, she finds a book that Valerie got, which is How to Drive a Man Crazy. And then she kind of just like looks back in his direction.
Yeah.
Like, oh, he's that kind of guy.
There's a lot of really funny little scenes and also weird details. Like, did you notice the ADT security sign in the front lawn of the house?
Jesus.
Yeah, so the house is protected by ADT security, I guess.
I think she's actually my favorite. Now, thinking on it, there's a lot of really good minor characters. I think she's actually like my favorite minor character in the entire movie. Mm-hmm. Because, once Valerie shows up in between Valerie who got the makeover, and then, Teddy shows up, dressed in the full sexy doctor outfit. Her reaction is, forget it, I won't do a three-way, and then she just leaves.
Yeah! She has her priorities straight.
And, this moment in between Valerie and Teddy leads to a fight between the two. And thank God Valerie has cupcakes and champagne at her disposal to toss at him.
Yes.
It's very, it makes me think Gina Davis should be a character in a platform fighter.
We put a lot of people in platform fighters.
Give her a Street Fighter thing.
Where she tosses champagne and cupcakes.
Or no, Darkstalkers.
Oh, okay.
You'd think the aliens would be the ones in Darkstalkers, but no.
Listen, if BB Hood can be in Darkstalkers, she can be in Darkstalkers.
Just keep her away from the aliens.
Mm-hmm. There really is so much funny slapstick in this. There's like a scene where the old lady has eavesdropping equipment, just lots of little funny things happen in this movie, and that is a pleasure.
And it's nice because, a lot of these, I guess, to me, I've never considered Gina Davis to be this comedic actor. Mm. I mean, I always see her as more of like a drama person. Same goes with Goldblum, to be honest. Like, can they be funny? Yes, I think most people kind of see Jeff Goldblum as maybe like the wisecracker. He was definitely kind of typecast as that early on. But it feels like everybody's sort of playing against type in this movie, which I like.
Mm-hmm. For sure. Yeah, it's definitely something that allows everyone to just kind of spread their wings, as it were.
We get our next number after this, kind of like probably the only sort of sad number here. But, there's some fun set pieces to it. She drowns the fish in champagne. She burns a Madonna album, which,
oh my God, that's really good.
I love you, Julie. And it all leads to her building a little ramp to send a bowling ball directly into her now ex-boyfriend's computer.
Yeah, that stressed me out so bad. I understand, like, the rage, but like I've never understood the idea of like destroying property like that. Like that just stresses me out. And it was a good computer, and I'm just like, but I get it. You're mad. No.
The way I see it,
I would have just taken it and started using it. Yours now.
well, sometimes we
We do things in the heat of the moment.
we trash our ex's like pictures and all that. I haven't personally, but that's kind of the stereotype.
Exactly. Scorched earth.
The medical there's a scene with a medical soap opera doctor in this, like immediately afterwards, as kind of a reference. So as sort of like a parallel to what's going on. Funny enough, the person who plays the soap opera doctor in it, Terrence McNally.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's funny.
The husband of Julie at the time.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Well, one last thing I do want to mention about the sad scene and the musical number.
yes, go ahead.
There's a point where she gets this thing. I've never totally known what to call it, but it's like this toy that I had as a kid that has a bunch of like nails, and you put like your hand or your face on it, and it creates like an imprint of your face. And that shows up in that scene, and I was like popping off because, I used to love those as a kid. I had one that like was UV enabled, so it was like green nails, but they glowed whenever you shone a black light on them, and you can make like imprints of your hand and stuff.
I've seen on Instagram that they have a giant version of like that toy now. I think somewhere in Los Angeles, probably.
Oh man.
I mean, like, it's maybe hard to describe, but you know it when you see it. It's got, you can do kind of silver imprints on it.
Field trip to the big one.
We'd have to know what it's actually called before we could find our way
the
there.
The nail art thing. I don't think that'll work.
The giant nail toy, please.
Please, we need to go to the giant nail toy.
So back to the aliens. We get a scene as right before they crash land on Earth, where they're looking to Earth for sexy women. It's hilarious. There's a scene here where they're like, "She's bald but beautiful," because like these guys are like three Sullys from Monsters Inc. Basically. The Sully Power Rangers, I guess you could put it.
Yeah, it's really funny. Just furry little boobas, skinny boobas.
And it's at this point I realize that like these guys kind of operate as like they're basically in an alien stoner comedy.
Yeah, and like they have subtitling all the stupid things they're saying in their alien language. It's a very dumb bit, but it gets me.
Well, weird Mr. Bean noises, basically.
Yeah.
As they go ahead and crash the ship, we get like a real good shot of the outside of this house, complete with the pool, and it made me realize there's no way in hell that Gina was keeping this house.
Yeah.
On a hairstylist salary, which is what we know for sure that her job is. Even though she doesn't do a lot of hairstyling in this movie because it's not really required.
Yeah. Well, listen. She's in the middle of the whole Gen X, .com bubble. Everyone was making a bunch of money. You could have a crazy house with a pool. That was very affluent. It's a very of the time. It's a very of the time movie. They mention horoscopes at one point. There's beehive hairdos. Like, this movie knows when it is and where it is.
She probably could have saved that computer, though.
Yeah, probably.
Pawn that off. Maybe keep it for a few more months.
I'm telling you, if she didn't bowling ball that computer, if she just stuck with it, she could have, like, registered pets.com and made $1 million.
And I think what's fun about the ship, actually, so once it crash lands, we get to see that the ship that we had been following this entire time is actually extremely tiny.
Yeah, That part made me laugh out loud, like when it was just really small.
There's a scene of them staring into the pool as they've crash landed into it, and Gina Davis is just gigantic.
It's really, really good.
Now, you may ask, how does she get... So how is this like a romance? Is this like a Short King movie? No. So the ship has the ability to grow and be also make anybody tiny if they go inside of it.
Right, right.
So Valerie, seeing this thing that lands in her pool and realizing that it's actually like there's living things in it, she passes out, I think.
Yeah.
Or did she like hit her head or something? I can't remember. It was something like that.
I think she hits her head. I can't remember off the top of my head. So
all I remember is so they go ahead and save her, and like immediately as soon as she wakes up, she goes immediately to, oh my God, you guys are going to do experiments on me.
Yeah.
You sick freaks.
Oh, God. Oh, no. Anything but that.
Big feel girl. Anyways.
This is around when we get the next music number, right?
I can't remember. Which one is it?
The one where the cat sings like Mario Paint. It does! It sings like Mario Paint.
That actually, so that's actually once they get out of the pool there.
Right.
Okay. There's a few, there's a little bit beforehand because, once we do actually learn how the aliens communicate as Valerie realizes that they are non-threatening aliens, but they also can really only contact her by taking her voice and then just imitating it in a different pitch. And it's at this scene where as they head into her house, they learn English by watching TV.
Yes, very, very being there kind of way of doing things.
And so because of that, all they say throughout the entirety of the movie is just like the different clips they hear on TV or the clips that other people say, but just at different pitches.
Yes. And at one point, they changed the channel and Rebel Without a Cause is playing, and I was popping off really hard because I love that movie.
After that comes the Cat song.
Yeah, the whole thing had a very... did you ever watch Stomp Out Loud in music class as a kid?
I didn't, no.
Okay, I did. And the whole thing, like the gimmick of Stomp Out Loud is that they're like making these musical sequences based on, I guess, noises, right? And it's very rhythmic sort of noises happening, in these kind of chaotic scenes. So, you have like a scene in a kitchen and all the beats are done by people like slamming plates and pans and a waitress going, order in, it's like making this whole beat as this whole scene kind of goes on top of each other. And that is the feeling I got from this musical sequences with the aliens and the TV and the phones ringing and them making these noises and the cat doing the Mario Paint noises. It's a lot of fun. I love stuff like that.
Imagine 3 babies who are trying to kill themselves in your house, like this second. They do everything that just would stress you out here. They start drinking the lava lamp. They start eating the fish.
Yeah.
That is like in the fish tank. I love that number. Shortly afterwards, we're introduced to another one of the best minor characters in this, Woody the pool guy.
Yes, I love the pool guy.
He's played by SNL character actor Michael McKean, but he looks like Harry Dunn from Dumb and Dumber.
Yeah.
And he's just like the most over-the-top dumb surfer bro that you can possibly imagine.
But so good.
Dumber than a bag of rocks, so that you can like, he's like, hey, what's this thing in your pool?
Yeah, it's so good. It's so good. It's just a very whimsical movie, you know?
It is. I think what's they keep they kept introducing elements that shows that like it's kind of like one of those Simpsons joke rules where, you know, if you have like 15 jokes going a mile a minute, then eventually like maybe 2 or 3 of them are going to land.
Yeah, exactly. And they're just going to stack on top of each other. It's very rapid fire improv, and I appreciate that.
It's been about 48 hours since the beginning of this movie, for the record.
Yeah.
Everything has fucking happened at this point.
At one point, I think it's Julie Brown who tells Valerie to, quote, have a mental margarita, which is an incredible sentence. I totally get this. Just like, yeah, just chill out and have a mental margarita.
This movie is just so funny. I think that, admittedly, despite the fact Gina is not necessarily like a comedic actor, I think her dynamic with Julie is one that's genuinely very funny. And I can't tell how much of that is just the script and how much of them is just like they're both very good actors on their own. There's a line during that scene you mentioned where they sort of ask like, yeah, are the aliens straight? I don't know, they're aliens.
Yeah, I have that written down too, because that just made me burst out laughing. Like there's just so many little funny laugh lines in this that really get me.
And the reason they take him to Candy is because they need to do a full makeover.
Yeah.
Which is how we get hot surfer Jim Carrey.
He's so tiny in this movie. What the hell?
They shave. I should mention they also shave off all the monsters. Yeah. Underneath, they did look like humans inexplicably.
They just look like the actors. It's a very funny bit.
Hot Damon Wayans, of course. Mm-hmm. And fucking Jeff Goldblum stepping out of the white fog just like in The Fly.
Oh, it's so good.
And the best part is Julie is just over the moon.
Yes.
I actually takes them as like one big date afterwards.
It's just such a bright and silly sort of celebration of the nightlife of California. You know, it's a very Valley Girl movie.
Feel that, yeah. Very Valley Girl, very embracing kind of the idea of being young, I would say.
Absolutely.
And just making stupid decisions.
Absolutely.
And it's here, as they go to the club, we hear another one of Julie's songs. I think this is the first time that you actually heard this one. You were cracking up at it. The song I Like 'Em Big and Stupid.
Yes! Oh my god, it's so good. I like 'em big and stupid. It's so fun. It gets in your head.
At the club, we get more stupid shenanigans with all of them. Really, like, most of this movie is this fish out of water thing, but, you know, it's kind of like if, I guess you could argue it's like this E.T. thing if E.T. was meant to be sexy.
Yeah, sexy E.T. There is a part at the club which absolutely killed me because all the aliens like start dancing with people at the club and they're, you know, getting, you know, it's standard fish out of water stuff where the fish out of the water gets really popular for whatever reason. But there's this hilarious bit where Jim Carrey is like surrounded by women. And I'm pretty sure what he does, I think he sticks his tongue out.
That's the best joke in the entire movie.
Yes, please.
So yeah, he goes to reach into a glass.
Yes.
And you just see his massive tongue as I think he grabs like an ice cube.
Yes.
And all the girls around him just
their faces, my god,
they light up, and then one of them says, "I'm going home with him."
Yeah, just oh my god, all of their faces are just absolutely hysterical. Just you can see every emotion on all of their faces. It is so funny. It is so damn funny. And that's what I mean. Like, this movie's allowed to be just kind of dumb and hunky and funny. You know?
It doesn't really try to be anything more than it is, I think.
Yes. It's infectious. It's just so joyful.
It's kind of this tribute to like what was going on at the time between like again E.T. and Mac and Me and all that, but it's kind of seen through this sort of himbo lens, I would say, where it's meant to be like a dumb and fun, sexy musical.
Yes. And at one point at the party, there's one girl who wants one of the aliens and her date to dance. So Fujoshi writes.
Was that the one with Zebo, Damon Wayans guy?
Yeah. It was Zebo. Yep.
There's this huge dance fight that happens. I wish I knew the name off the top of my head of the guy who does the dance battle against him.
Yes.
He is insane.
Oh yeah, no, he's another great side character for the movie. Just this movie is packed with like one scene wonders that are just so funny. I think shortly after the party and all this, I don't know. I think after this is when you learn what kind of computer was destroyed with the bowling ball. It's a Commodore Amiga, and I'm very sad about it. I just want you all to know that I'm very sad about the destruction of a Commodore Amiga.
It was cheap at the time. Probably. Maybe.
Maybe.
Hey, do you remember her excuse as to like why she was with the three aliens once she comes back and her like husband sees this?
No, what was it?
I won an MTV Day with a band.
Yes, that's right. They had just to say that she won the MTV Day with the band, and like that's the boy band in question.
Meanwhile, the aliens are watching fucking Rebel Without a Cause.
Yes, exactly.
They literally play the "You're Tearing Me Apart" scene.
Yes, I love that movie.
God.
And then I think that they circle back on that where I don't remember exactly the context, but there's like a scene where I think Teddy confronts Jim Carrey alien and he like repeats back, "You're tearing me apart." Yeah, it's very good. It's very good.
Also, shout out to this scene where the doctor watches as the alien starts eating another one of the fish.
Yeah.
The doctor says, he was eating my bluegill dork. To which they reply back, "Watch your mouth."
Yes. Listen, I think this movie really proves that if you want to make something funny, get really specific with it.
God. And I think that they end up kicking the doctor out. I think the doctor actually calls the police on the aliens. But they end up arresting the doctor instead.
Good.
Beautiful moment. Fuck you, Ted.
Yeah. Ted really is the worst. Like, man, I don't like him.
This also is where they get the they get a line, they get the famous title drop. I just don't want you to think that Earth girls are easy.
I was so happy. We have a friend who gets really excited whenever there's a title drop in a movie, and so as a proxy, I've also started getting really excited when there's title drops in a movie.
We need to actually start a counter, I think. I don't know if we have like what movies we've seen that already have like the single title drop yet. Off the top of my head, I don't actually know if we had any.
Yeah.
I obviously in the number 23, I think they've said the number 23 enough times it doesn't really count.
Yeah, whereas this one, it's just the one time they have to say it as part of a, like, either on its own or in a sentence, and it has to, it just has to be the one, and they nailed it this time.
I think the only one I can think of is maybe St. Elmo's Fire.
Right, St. Elmo's Fire is the other one. So we're two. We're at 2 right now, possibly more. We'll talk about that off the air.
We'll get the stats next time.
Yes, exactly. We'll let you know.
So, in a dream sequence, we see as Gina Davis finally has passionate sex after 2 weeks.
After 2 weeks. I mean, it's been so long. And the sex scene is beautiful, man. Like, you gotta have a good sex scene in a movie like this. And it's like, it's just escapist fantasy, and it's fun.
Funny story. So, among them, I did actually check the movies that were all included in this scene. They had Beauty and the Beast, 1946, as well as Earth versus the Flying Saucers. This is it was during the scene I actually looked up the IMDb connections for this movie, which is how I learned the aforementioned Cowboy Bebop scene.
Yeah.
Also, this is how I learned there were actually 2 porn parodies of this movie.
Yeah.
Which, saying that out loud, not really surprising, given everything about this.
Yeah, but it also just feels like, I don't know, man. It feels kind of less fun when it's a porn parody.
Well,
it's already a comedy movie.
To be fair, there's a gay porn one.
Okay, that's
Earth
fair.
Guys Are Easy.
Okay, fair enough.
And then there's also one that was a little closer to the time frame, which was Earth Girls Are Sleazy.
Oh, yeah. That one, yeah, that sounds about right. That sounds about right.
I also learned that this film has 2 cars from Death Race 2000 in it.
Yeah! Now, this is the best movie ever.
Calamity Jane's car and Frankenstein's car. And speaking of connections, during this nightmare sequence, the famous Robbie the Robot actually shows up.
I actually wrote down, like, wait, that's the Lost in Space robot.
So I wonder, like, we need to do this as a total, I think, because Robbie has had this long history of appearances in movies. Off the top of my head, I remember Looney Tunes Back in Action. Mm-hmm. But I know for sure that he's appeared multiple times, so it's going to be interesting. It could be 1, it could be like 500 by the time we're done with this, but I'm curious to see how many times we'll see Robbie the Robot before we eventually end this podcast.
Yeah. That maybe our last movie should just be one of the Lost in Space movies. Yeah, no, it was a shock, you know. I was like, oh man, that's Robbie the Robot. Yeah, the nightmare sequence is also great. It was really funny because at one point Valerie like kind of comes to terms and realizes that if she has sex with Jeff Goldblum, then she's an official monster fucker.
And she is.
Yeah, she is. Good for her.
So, it is said that the reason for the nightmare is because she did have a sex with the Jeff Goldblum alien.
Right.
Mac
right.
was his name. Funny enough, Mac and me.
Yeah, different one.
Yes.
Aga.
But because of this, like they have the perfect punchline to after this nightmare where she starts seeing like aliens all over, which is the very next day she just takes as much birth control as possible.
Because she just doesn't want to give birth to a weird alien human baby. She's having some regrets.
You know, this is the part in the hero's journey where they're not accepting their fate.
Yeah, of course.
And it's at this point where they decide to all just leave and go to the beach.
I love it.
Now, would you believe me? This scene with Julie Brown, them going to the beach and Julie Brown singing "Because I'm a Blonde."
Yeah, this is...
It comes a little bit out of nowhere, right?
Correct. I wrote down that it's the most, this is just a music video sequence of the movie.
Julie Brown doesn't even play Candy in it. She plays an just kind of like a blonde character, doing the song that Julie had sang for her first album.
Yeah.
Or EP, excuse me. Did I you know how I mentioned earlier there were reshoots?
Yes.
This was probably like the biggest obvious reshoot in the movie.
Okay. So, was it just like they injected the music video into the movie, or what happened here?
I think there's probably there's probably like enough of a stretch of time, and you can kind of feel it, where the movie hadn't really done a music video or like a music song
Musical sequence
since we got into the club. So they get home from the club. There's not really like anything again because we need to like follow the plot at this point.
Yeah.
So I think they realized, what's kind of the easiest place to have this this music sequence? Well, let's do this right before things really go bad for our protagonist.
Yeah, exactly. They're like, hey guys, we're getting into Teddy being a real fucking slime ball. We're having nightmares about alien babies. Let's just have Julie go to the beach and do her little bit and say that they're doing a blonde contest or whatever. Sure. It'll be like a parody of those, beach scenes in a beach movie in the 50s. Okay, sure. Boom.
And the trade-off is it's probably one of my favorite scenes in the entire movie.
Yeah, it's just a fun one. It's like I said, it's very music, it's a very music video scene, but it's like such a catchy song that I'm like, yeah, okay, yeah. It's fun.
Completely unnecessary, but in a fun way.
But that's what I'm saying. Is like, is it unnecessary when it comes terms to, the plot, blah, 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 blah. Maybe. But I think it was a great idea because it, as Ebert said earlier in his reviews, whenever there's something sagging, the music kind of comes in to boost the material.
It balances things out.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I think at that point, you really did need just something to kind of pep you right up before we get to the conclusion.
At this point, we've kind of seen this before. They don't really have much beach adventures because this was like a whole reshoot sequence.
Yeah,
it seems like they're
like, hey, we have a surfer. We need a beach.
It seems like in the original cut they never actually went to the beach. Probably.
Yeah, probably.
So they go to a gas station, presumably on the way back this time.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, I just want to say real quick that there's a part where Teddy says to Valerie that, quote, I need you to take care of me. And like, I made the loudest groan when he said that. I hate this man.
Yeah. This man is like supposed to be a doctor.
Yeah.
Supposed to be this accomplished, smart, well-paying doctor.
Dr. Manchild, PhD.
Things are thrown off at this gas station because this kid has a fake, realistic gun that is given over to the aliens.
It kind of reminds me of the part in Empire Records where all of a sudden, out of fucking nowhere, a kid tries to rob the store.
And we get a scene as the two aliens, after being handed the gun, just walk directly in the store, just like to pay off the gas. Mm-hmm. But because they have the gun in the hand, they have like no idea. Just the cashier thinks it's a real gun, and then is just like, just take everything. So the aliens are like, thanks.
Yeah, it's really good. There's a lot of really good things happening around this time because the B-52's cosmic thing hits, and like that's such a great needle drop for us for this scene. But also, it's just another kind of thing where, if you listen to a B-52 song, you know what you're going to get. They have many songs and they're all good, but they're not exactly varied. But yeah, cosmic thing hits.
Then we have I will say around this point, we have like a cameo of a person that I'll admit, like I had no idea existed. Yeah. It's this one girl with kind of like really poofy blonde hair, this visor. She's dressed kind of scantily. And I didn't realize that this is like apparently a fairly well-known sort of model and singer at the time by the name of Angeline.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but I guess this is kind of like the Matt Pat cameo in Five Nights at Freddy's of the time.
Can you imagine all the kids, going to see Earth Girls Are Easy, tossing their popcorn in the air, going, "Holy shit, it's Angeline."
If you were there at the time frame, it's like, oh, of course this is Angeline. She was like, I guess this massive name. She would always be seen in this pink Corvette. But there was like kind of this huge reveal to her, and she's only really in this one scene getting gas.
Yeah. That's really funny. I love when there's just inexplicable things that have kind of been lost to the march of time. It just little cameos in movies, always really funny.
In a way, it kind of reminds me why I love movies and cinema to begin with. Like, they're time capsules in a way. You can kind of see what they were imagining at the time. It's also why it's a little bit depressing, in my personal opinion, that so many movies kind of want to steer away nowadays from like baking stories in the modern day. We all care more about like the 80s or the 90s, and I get it. Like there's always that obsession with the previous decades, and also we're in a time frame where it's not really fun to document what's going on right now in the world.
Right. But I think, you kind of need these things, to document, how things are positively and negatively. Like, even with something like this, you can get such a great, like, sort of feeling of the 80s, of California, of, you get the music, you get the hairstyles, you get, the tacky apartments, you get, where getting a swimming pool in your backyard was like the height of suburban excellence. You need all of that to be captured and put on film.
It's worth mentioning this sequence. We're pretty close to what is both like two of the non-Julie Brown songs that are in the movie. There's B-52 song,
Cosmic Thing.
Also Depeche Mode song, just inexplicably. Just in case you didn't know, this was made in the 80s.
Yes, yeah, it's great. Yeah, Cosmic Thing. I can't remember what Depeche Mode song it is, but I remember hearing like the Depeche Mode singer and being like extremely excited. There's a lot of really funny shit happening like around this part.
This is also when I realized just how tall Gina Davis was.
Hell yeah.
Like, she kind of towers over people, and it's like, is Gina Davis that tall? And the answer is yes, she's 6 feet tall.
Hell yeah, Gina Davis rules. There's also a really funny bit where, oh god, I'm trying to remember the exact context, but the cops are like told about a suspect, and I think the joke is that they're asked if he's dangerous, and they say not really, and the cops go, "Good enough for me," and start pursuing the suspect.
A-cap.
Just lots of really good bits. Also, Jeff Goldblum has the gay touch.
Oh, yes, the aliens do turn people gay with a touch. Okay. So it's funny because we see this touch happen early on in the movie. Because we have... they touch the two police officers, and it makes them fall in love with one another.
Yes.
But it had me... It's probably just a general Cupid's arrow type thing.
Yeah.
But... we do see as they do this to the cat early on in the movie,
yeah,
which had me wondering: is Gina Davis's cat gay too?
Yeah, it made the gay cat. They gave the cat the gay weed that turns you gay.
I should also mention they didn't actually drop the fake gun at this point.
Yeah, there's so much going on in this climax. It is a blast.
So, because of the fact that Zebo and Whiplock, Jim Carrey and Damon Wayans' characters get into a car crash while escaping the cops. They're actually sent directly to the hospital for this, which, because of the fact they're aliens, it means that we have this huge rescue mission as the third act finale. And in order to get into the hospital, the fake gun that was used earlier is held by Gina Davis at this point.
Hell yeah, they gave Gina a gun.
And with the fake gun in hand, she forces a nurse to strip. Inexplicably, it's the same nurse from earlier who said that she wouldn't do a three-way.
God!
And it's like, you sick fucks again.
Yeah.
I hate you and your ex-boyfriend. She is the best character, actually.
Mm-hmm.
God. I just want to say...
yeah, that's right. And it's the same hospital that Ted works at. And I think, like, at this point, they drive him crazy via Danganronpa execution music.
Well, yeah, they gaslight him by thinking that at first he gets the like a perfect heart, the two heartbeats because these aliens have two hearts,
right?
And using alien magic.
Yeah.
They go ahead and divert things, just making him think that he's going crazy.
Yeah, because he keeps hearing noises, and like it becomes like a whole beat. Like, and he just, like I said, he gets the Danganronpa execution.
I just have to say, so as they manage to get away with the rest of the aliens, there's one unfortunate detail I've realized.
We don't know if this is Ted's car or Valerie's car, but one of them has a George Bush for president
If it's
sticker.
not Valerie's car, then at the very least, Valerie stole Ted's car, which is believable, but unfortunately... there is absolutely a George Bush for president bumper sticker.
Yes, cannot endorse this. Sorry, Valerie.
I'm sorry, we're going to have to cancel Valerie from the movie Earth Girls Are Easy.
Mm-hmm. Unfortunate, but you know, that's just how it is. I also just want to say, when they get back to the apartment, my first note is, how many weird novelty phones does this guy have?
There is several, but like the big one here is that that we see in this scene is actually like a duck phone.
Yeah.
And at that point, I like this is my second time watching it. I came to the realization, so this has to be Ted's phone, right?
Yeah.
Like he bought this like because he's a doctor, because he's a quack.
Ah, that's good. That's good. Listen, I miss novelty phones. I just wish landlines weren't spam magnets these days.
Yeah.
I'd love a Garfield phone.
I guess that's why they invented phone cases.
Yeah, I guess so. It's not the same.
I don't feel comfortable bringing out my phone that's with like cat ears or whatever.
Yeah, it's just not the same.
But there's also like lip phones and all that, which is what you're mentioning here. And at this point, I wrote down that Ted can really just get the death of the aunts from James and the Giant Peach, to be honest.
Yeah.
I absolutely just hated this guy. But you know, wonderful finale here. Valerie has this moment where she's has to debate with herself whether or not she wants to leave with the aliens to their home planet, and ultimately she willingly lets herself get abducted.
Yes. And I really think that Candy should have also went on the ship so that she could have brought her giant pitcher of margaritas with them.
Well, she says, wait, you guys, you can't leave without margaritas, and then just kind of tosses it up to them.
Yeah, she should have went with them. And the cat should have went too.
Yeah.
The gay cat.
I have to wonder, is that Ted's cat?
I guess so. I just hope that cat's doing well.
I'm sure the cat's doing fine. If nothing else, we get to see, the pool boy at the end of this?
Yes, the pool boy, our boy. Yes, we love the pool guy. So I do want to say, to set this up earlier in the movie, one of the things that they claimed, I think part of the whole fake boy band backstory is they saw a tourism video about Finland, so they were mentioning Finland, and just the pool guy as the spaceship is leaving, he's like, "Yeah, give my love to Finland." It's so so good.
The best fucking character.
Yeah. And then we hit the credits and we get Love Train.
But right beforehand, we go through a donut-shaped asteroid, which is actually a throwback to something that happens earlier on during the car chase sequence.
Yes.
But we get a ship going through a hole, which at the same time, you and I both said Alfred Hitchcock's North by Northwest.
Absolutely.
This movie really loves the classics.
Yes. What a great time.
And really, that's about that. So that's the movie. And I absolutely adore this one. This probably isn't going to be a super long episode, but I hope that you can gather from our enthusiasm from this. Like, I love this one. I want to put this one out there for anybody to watch, to be honest.
Yeah.
It's just, it's not something that, I think that is worth hard critical analysis, because I don't think that's really what this movie is.
Yeah.
I think that this is meant to be a fun comedy film. What would you say is maybe the takeaway lesson from this?
Have alien sex. I actually think there is actually a lesson in sort of finding the people that appreciate you for you and just putting yourself out there and embracing life with gusto and making the weird little product that you want to make and being the person you want to be. But also, the moral of the story, break up with him.
Don't be, nobody should have to wait 2 weeks for sex.
Yes. Maybe not that one. Maybe not that one. But basically, if you are unhappy in your relationship, it is okay to break up with someone and find someone who loves you for you.
Love is sometimes worth taking chances.
Yes.
I think that's the real lesson.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
All right. So, that was Julie Brown. She still makes cameo appearances. She's thankfully still alive and with us today as of this recording. Her most recent appearance seems to be on Netflix. She was a part of that one Spirit Stallion of the Cimarron series.
I forgot that they did that. Well, good for her.
She's probably living comfortably. She has since divorced from Terrence McNally, and I think she's living single these days. But she seems happier than ever.
Yeah.
Right now.
And, that's wonderful. And as mentioned, the movie has kind of gotten its own critical reappraisal. It's out on Blu-ray right now. Like, all in all, not a bad legacy,
No.
Just someone who comes in, makes something fun that people still like, makes music people still laugh at. I mean, what more could you ask for? So good on her.
So, let's talk just a little bit about our next arc.
Yes.
Bruce Lee.
Oh, yes. This is actually something that we've wanted to do. When we first kind of concepted this podcast, we were going to actually do this first. A big thing that kind of brought us to it was we got the Criterion box set of Bruce Lee.
Yes.
Yes, which we are going to be using to go through. We'll be doing, I believe the Big Boss, Fist of Fury, all of them, pretty much. Let's talk about this. Will we be doing Game of Death?
Yes.
Okay.
Although, Game of Death is going to be an interesting one. I don't want to give away too much, but we'll say that, Game of Death will actually be, not only one arc, it'll actually be the next arc as well.
It'll be a connecting point to an arc that comes after it, and we will reveal a little more when we get to that episode.
All things to say, we're going to be busy for a little bit after this specific episode. We may have more one-offs. We may do another end of the year one like we did last year. I think we both had a lot of fun making that one.
Absolutely. Yeah, we'll probably do another bonus episode for the end of the year, running down some of our favorite movies. So, keep an eye on the feed. I also just want to say real quick, as an update, we did recently change the website that our podcast was hosted on. You can find all of our old episodes on armbarstudios.com. There should be a full link to all of our episodes. The website should continue to update. You can listen directly on armbarstudios.com now instead of having to go to a subdomain. Or, of course, you can find us on Spotify. You can find us on Apple Music. You can find us, on Pocket Casts as well. But yeah, we're really excited for everything that the future holds. We will see you, next time for our bonus episodes and then for Bruce Lee. And until then...
3, 2, 1, roll credits.
That whole movie, its whole life has been on cable. I think that was a really good thing for me, ultimately. But it was very horrible at the moment.
Roll Credits is produced by Armbar Studios and is part of the Aaron and Mandy Network. The intro and outro music is provided by Daniel Vodovos, available on Bandcamp. For more information on all of our projects, visit armbarstudios.com.